Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joyce. I am super excited to have you here today. In this video, we're talking about practical steps on how to get started in UI UX design. I'll try my best to make this video very short, very simple and straight to the point. If you are interested in this type of video, I'd like to say please stay subscribed, please like and please share this video. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So first things first, I'd like you to get an understanding on what UI UX design is all about. And if you watched my last video, I gave a good description on the relevance of UI UX design and exactly what UI UX design is. I went forward to talk about the expected salary for a beginner UI UX design. So the link will be somewhere either in the description box or somewhere around here on what UI UX is all about. I talked about other non-coding roles in the field of tech as well. So to get into UX design, I'll be giving you practical steps on how to do this. Now, the first step is to take introductory courses on UX design. I'll be leaving some links to some introductory courses that I used and they were great, that will give you great understanding on what you're getting yourself into. Some are paid and some are free. Now, you can take up the free one so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So these introductory courses talk about UI, they talk about the fundamentals of design, especially if you have not been exposed to maybe designing, maybe you've not done any, you have no background on design. These introductory courses will give you a good pointer on design and give you a great understanding on design. And sometimes I hear questions like, do I need to know how to draw? Do I need to have a degree in graphic design? The answer is no. If you have a good knowledge on what UI design is, on what UX design is, then you're good to go. Now, secondly, you need to start designing. After you've learned the introductory courses about UI UX design, you've gotten a perfect understanding on UI UX design. The next thing is to start designing. Start designing is understanding the tools used in designing. We have Figma, we have Adobe XD, we have Penpot, we have a lot of them. So you pick the design tool that works with you and you start to design. Now, starting to design doesn't mean you have to design a whole web page, you have to design a whole web app. No. You just maybe pick few components, learning to create a button, learning to use typography as well, learning about type spaces, about font, about colors, about spacing, learning the fundamentals of design. You use that knowledge and start to design and using your the design tool more effectively. There are different places you can get inspirations for starting to design. You can take up challenges like daily UI. You can gain inspiration for collect UI. There are a lot of challenges in 100 days of design. You can try that out. It will help your ability, building your momentum as a designer. As a designer, I advise you copy, still like an artist. When you see inspirations online, you can choose, you can decide to pick up that project, design exactly as they did. And if you want to post such projects online, please and please credit the person who has the main design. Or if you don't want to post it, fine and good, just have it in your files. But then you're working on something, you're getting better, you're having a sixth sense on differentiating good designs from bad designs. Just make sure you're doing something every day. The more you practice, the better you get at that particular skill. The third step is sharing your design. Now, this particular step can be very hard for some people. It takes a lot of vulnerability because you have to maybe upload what you have done or share with somebody what you have done. Now, your work doesn't have to be perfect. Hear this, your work doesn't have to be perfect before you share it with anybody. Sharing it can be uploading to your social media handles. If that is too much pressure on you, you can get a designer, somebody that is a little bit more advanced in the design game than you, somebody that can look at your work and give you quality feedback. Now, there are different places where you can get feedback from. You can get mentors from Twitter, you can get mentors from LinkedIn, you can get mentors from ADP list, you can get mentors from vit.com. Now, these sites I just called for you, they are amazing places where, like a community of designers, where you can see other people that, okay, send a quick message that please and please, can I share my works with you so you can help me to, give some feedback. And trust me, people are open and willing to give you feedback on your work. So all you have to do is just, gauge your chest up and try to be open to criticism. One of the best things you can do for yourself as a UI designer is staying open to criticism, good or bad. They are all channeled towards your own growth. Now, the fourth step is to start taking up projects. This project now involves more complicated designs than your normal UI challenges of creating buttons and creating little components. This project involves from the start of your design process to the finish of it. This project starts from your problem statement to your solution. This project involves you creating personas, involves your user flows, involves your wireframe, your sketching, your prototyping, your testing. The whole idea is just for you to understand more about the whole UI process from the start to the finish. Now, I'll be leaving some links on places where you can get ideas for your project. Don't allow the idea of your first project be so overwhelming. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. It doesn't have to be $1 million idea. You just have to pick up one and get started. It's all channeled towards your learning, towards your growth. So the links I will leave below, they provide briefs, they provide problem statements, like for example, trying to design a design for a coffee shop for you to make orders, and you get your order, you pay, and all of that. So the project entails you from your problem statement to how you figure out your solution. It involves the choices you make and good documentation, why you're picking a particular font, your color guide, and just reasons. It should entail reasons why you took particular steps or why you used that particular solution while doing your project. The fifth step is making your portfolio. Now, portfolio these days, I understand, can be daunting, but then you just have to be very basic with yours since you're just starting out. Be very basic with it. There are places where you can host your portfolio. You have the Behance, which is very free, and then you have the Squarespace or the Wix, which are paid, and they have like templates which you can just upload your portfolio with. But this Behance, I'd like to say use Behance for your first start, because Behance allows you upload your whole case study per se, your whole project idea. It allows you upload your portfolio, and the portfolio in the sense that it's different documentations of your project. Like in a portfolio, you don't need too much. You can have just 2 to 3 of your best projects. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just saying best, like ones you are proud to show off. So just put them out there on your Behance portfolio. And I've said Dribble, but I think Dribble does better with snapshots than it does better with snapshots. So for portfolios, just try to host it on Behance, or you can go for ones which are um Squarespace and UX Folio or Wix. Those give you a template on your portfolio. And speak of your resumes as well. While you have your portfolio, you go ahead with your resumes and then your cover letter. Now, your resume doesn't have to be what you have done in design. It can be other things, like maybe when you were a sales rep somewhere, you think it's not important for your design, but trust me, it's okay you put it in there, because transferable skills from those your former jobs can be useful in UI UX designers. If you cannot come up with ideas on your own, you can as well collaborate with designers. Collaboration is very key when you're starting out. You can collaborate with developers. After all, in the long run, you'll be working very well with developers. So the earlier you get used to it, the better for you. And when I mean developers, I mean front end developers. And in this collaboration, it doesn't have to be a paid one. It can just be you exposing yourself and getting better in your craft. Step is networking. Now, this can be very touchy for a lot of people, but you need to put yourself out there. Don't be shy. There are places where you can network. You can go on Twitter, you can go on LinkedIn. You can also join design communities, get to know people in the design space, because you need to push yourself out there. Let them know, okay, I'm doing this and I'm looking for a job. No one comes to your door and say, oh, you're a UI designer and I'm going to give you a job. No, you need to show what you're doing. You need to put yourself out there, network with people, understand the language of Twitter, understand the language of LinkedIn, get on other people's posts, comment, reach out to people. Don't be shy. Take away shame from your vocabulary. Don't be shy. Put yourself out. Join hackathons, join challenges, join go for conferences, meet people, go for conferences, join hackathons, do challenges, go out there, meet people. This is your key to your next design gig. Now, lastly, never stop to learn. No matter how many courses you've taken and you feel you have learned it all, no, don't stop learning. Don't stop updating your portfolio. Don't stop creating more things. Don't, even after you get your job, your first gig, don't stop advancing your skills. And don't stop updating us that you're doing that. If you get certificates from whatever program you attend, you should update it in your portfolio. Add it up to your profile that, okay, I've learned this. If you're learning Webflow, you're learning Framer, you're learning interaction design, put it out there that you're learning. It even qualifies you for better opportunities. So don't stop learning. Don't stop learning. I hope these steps are quite useful for you. And I assure if you follow them, the steps as you should, that's your gateway to being a UX designer. Thanks for staying to the end of this video. Don't put yourself in that box. Amaze yourself all the time. I'm rooting for you. Take care. Bye. Bye.